Alright, so here's the continuing saga of this. So now I've got the old sink out and repaired some of the areas that have gotten a little too wet over time. Got some concrete board down in that corner. And kind of did some mastic over the top of the various spots that got ripped off when the other tile board came off. But yeah, it's going good. We'll wait till that dries, do a little light sanding, and then I'll put a coat of Kills on there. So we've got our new sink right here. And the idea will be it's a drop-in sink, so we'll have that white melamine board that'll run along the edge over there. Come out to about there. This cabinet will go here. There'll be a gap between the two. I'm going to build a cabinet box for the sink to sit on. That'll also be the support for the melamine. So there'll be a little gap in the middle between the two of them here. I think that's the way I want to do it. And this top will go. So this is now trimmed so that it's the same height as that ledge back there. I got this area pretty well done. Got some supports underneath there. And we'll do some cleaning up of that area at some point. But looking much better. Much, much better. Alright, so we'll continue down here. Get that stuff built. All sealed up with some good paint. By the way, this is the exterior paint that we have on the house. It's what we used for our stucco paint a while ago, but it's really, really high quality exterior paint, so that should help to keep that wall from having any challenges over time. Alright, well, here's this corner cleaned up. It's got a first coat of the exterior paint on it, the brownish tan color. It's not perfect. It's got some rough spots in it, but a lot of that's going to be covered up with the counter that comes across here. And what isn't, I don't know, may put some tile up there. Anyhow, it's looking much better. The corner's nice and dry now. So we're going to see if we can give this an upgrade. Next is we'll get the counter and start to frame it all out. I'm going to center the sink on the window, so that'll be a nice aesthetic look. Give it a little more space on this side too. All right. Alright, so here we go with the next phase. So the cabinet over here is hooked to the wall. I've got a structure across the top here. This is a 2x4, and I've got a floor laid in there that will be at the same level as this cabinet. And there's part of the floor there. There's a little bit of it over there. So we'll get all that in there, and then I can put the rest of the frame on the front of this. And we'll be making some progress. So it does take a while to get all this done. There's more wood over there, that painted wood that'll go into this to make the cabinet. All right. Alright, so the top is now glued down, caulking all the way around the edges there inside. The sink is glued down, everything's drying. Next phase will be to put this molding on here. See if I can show you without making a mess. There we go. So it'll be like that. And there'll be molding all along the edges, up here and around there like that and down. And then it'll be time to build some doors, hook up the plumbing once everything's dried. So, coming along nicely. So, on to the next phase. Alright, here we are at the next phase. So, again, everything's glued down. I got the backsplashes on. They're all glued in place. The top is glued in place. And I have all the moldings cut. I haven't glued them in place yet. I want to wait on that. So, coming along nicely. Just taking care of some of the detail work. I haven't put the caulking in around there. But I'm going to let it dry sufficiently so I can start working on it. I did caulk around the sink. You can see that. So, I can get that all sorted out. On to the next phase. Okay, on to the next phase here. So the plumbing is all done. Looks like it's dry. I got a little tray down there to catch any water. Had a couple of challenges with the both the waste water and the water line. It ends up I had to put extensions on there to get the water over there, and that proved to be a little challenging, but everything else seems to be working. So on to the next thing, and that is the doors. And so I'm using this approach. Pretty straightforward, just MDF. It's the smooth stuff. And I had to get a full sheet, even though I really needed a half. But the doors, so here's the door from down there. Got it up here, you can see it. And I put it up like this so you can see the edges. So this is a fairly simple edge on this door that I wanted to replicate. And so I've got a blade for my dado on my table saw that I'll show you how I did this. But it's an unusual cut because I have to do it standing up like this, because the cut goes across like that. So that means I've got pieces that are on edge going through the table saw. And it's not really so much dangerous as it is just kind of trying to keep the wood from moving around. And you can see here the edge is pretty good all the way across. And one edge is not finished like that. That's where the doors come together. So I hope I have all the doors I need to do this. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. So the reason I did it like this, I'll show you real quick, is I have the right angles here hooked on. I've got a piece of 2x6 in between them. That's strapped down to the table saw here, and they just act as a a straight edge basically to make sure that I'm not wobbling around. Now I ended up pushing it up against this fence, which is not that high, but I pushed it up against this fence and let it ride on that. And then I had to have my little roller over here to catch it on the other side. But it worked out pretty good. So far so good. Now it'll be time to double check the cuts and make sure everything fits over there on the doors, and then go ahead and start painting. So anyhow, that's the latest and greatest on that. So hopefully when it's all done, those will all look like they match. Hopefully that's the game plan. But it is my shop, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Alrighty. Hello everyone. King Crumpet here to show you the final on installing these cabinets in the shop. Let me give you a tour. Here we have the sink, the countertop. Looks lovely, doesn't it? This wasn't part of the project, but this is my router table. And here are the cabinet fronts that you joined me on the building of. So, I am going to declare this project complete. Thank you for joining, and hope you can join us on the next video. Goodbye.